I feel so Sigma and
I love Tama. She's one of my favorite characters in this arc. If I had a nickel for every magical dog girl I consider my favorite character, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's funny it happened twice. Now with her design, it doesn't only represent her power, making holes, but also fits with her character. Just like dogs stick to their owners no matter how they treat them, Tama always sticks up with her magical girl partners, no matter how they treat her, even if they treat her like an idiot, just like Ruler. On a little tangent, it's kinda wild to me how she was so neglected and alienated from her own family that she stuck up with Ruler even if she insulted her, because she didn't give up on her for being stupid just like her family did. Anyways, back to the video, and fuck Tama's family except her granny RIP queen. She has a great color palette, and also she just looks so adorable. The ears, the tail, the big paw globes. I like the detail of the spots on her bobs and stockings. They don't only look like a Dalmatian's dog's fur, but they may also be a reference to her power of making holes. At first I didn't really like the spiked color, because it was always associated with mean and rude dogs in popular culture, but apparently Ruler was the one who gave her that color. Maybe she gave it to her to make her look more intimidating. She also has a little ahoge, I don't know how it's pronounced, I'm sorry. Which, if you don't know, is a character design trait very common in anime and manga to indicate that a character is dumb and foolish, which fits her backstory and her conflict of being seen as an idiot by her family, and even the leader of her own team. Anyways, she's awesome, she's my daughter, and I love her. Her design is awesome and cute, and the scene where she kills Cranberry is badass, and she's awesome, and it's clear that she's one of my favorite characters, isn't it? Oh, it is time to talk about her. We have to address the elephant in the room, the boobs. I don't have anything against characters that happen to have big breasts, but it feels so weird because Swim is a literal 7-year-old. I'm glad that at least she looks older than 7 in her magical girl form, but she still looks like a middle schooler.
That's a child! Then why did you draw him like this?
Anyway, that aside, I'm a bit mixed about her design. The bunny-shaped disc at the side of her head, the discs at her back, the garter, the wings, the boots, they feel so random, and I'm not the biggest fan of all those details. However, like it or not, I think it makes sense since Swim Twins' avatar is made by an elementary school girl. This is quite literally a gacha life OC, and that's okay. Also, not only did she choose that swimsuit just because it's white and it looks like the dresses princesses will wear in her books, but also apparently the rest of her design is randomized, but I'll give the design credit what credit is due. The color palette, especially in the original novel, the anime is okay I guess. It's neat and cohesive, and her purple magenta gradient eyes make her face pop a little more. The wings and their strands on her hips resemble devil wings and devil tails, respectively, which is a really neat detail. It's a nice foreshadowing of how she will eventually become the villain. In conclusion, I'm not a big fan of her design, especially because of, well, what I mentioned before. But I admit it does fit her character and story. I already mentioned this in my redesigns video, but I don't like the sexy non-character design trope at all. I feel it's misogynistic because tell me why are you objectifying women that made the choice to not be seen as something sexual? That problem aside, I think Sister Nana's design is nice and it works for her character. She also has lots of crosses on her design, like her chest, the sides of her hips, even her eyes. Her hair is so pretty, and it fits her overall color palette while standing out without sticking out like a sore thumb. Speaking of sore thumbs, the red shoes are so distracting and don't fit her color palette at all. Either make the shoes another shade of red that fits her design and put more red details on her, or just make them another color that isn't red. Anyways, as I said before, the non motif fits Nana perfectly. not only because she's a pacifist who hates violence, but it's also kind of subversive because in reality she actually has no personal faith at all. Although, as mentioned before, I don't like the sexy nun motif, I think it's interesting to me considering Nana's character. Let me explain. As a human, she's a chubby girl and she's self-conscious about her weight, forcing herself to eat healthy food to get skinny. Maybe she chose to make herself a sexy avatar because she thinks that her being chubby makes her ugly, and she wanted to project her ideal appearance on her avatar. Though, that is just a theory. A magical girl racing project theory. Overall, despite my problems, I like Sister Nana's design, and it's a shame the anime didn't do justice to her character. It's fine. I don't have much to say about Winterprison's design. She does look cool, and it fits her stoic personality as a magical girl. The scarf is a cute detail, because it's the same that Nana made for her. Her color palette is fine too. I like her anime hair color more than the one from the novels, but that's just me. She looks nice when paired with Sister Nana. Sorry, I don't have anything more to say about her design. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I think it's okay because it goes pretty well with her character. I honestly prefer her human design. She looks really handsome and gender non-conforming. I think I have to clarify that all of this doesn't mean I don't like Winterprison as a character. Even if she's not my favorite, I like her and her relationship with her girlfriend is adorable. I just think her design is okay. If you love it, that's fine. It's now the turn to talk about the best abusive mother in fiction. First of all, slay the house down Boots Houston, I'm deceased. Seriously though, I really like her design. She's one of those characters who are obviously sexualized, but I don't mind because she's a grown-ass adult. And also, I have an interpretation of this. We'll get to that later. Her color palette is great. I like how her blonde hair makes her face stand out while being cohesive with the rest of the colors of her design. I think her cowboy motif fits not only her ability to power up any weapons she has, but also the fact that she's an alcoholic. The leopard pattern on the boots, top and jacket is a reference to the shirt she wears in her human form. I thought that was a neat detail. The sleeves, even if they might be a bit inconvenient, look nice and make for an interesting silhouette. The holster on her left leg, well, in the anime is on her right leg for some goddamn reason, personally kind of reminds me of a garter, which I think plays to her sexiness. Now that I mentioned that, I think it's interesting how Calamity Mary chose her avatar to be sexy. She probably made it like that as a way to cope with the fact that she's not young anymore and she's a deadbeat, alcoholic and abusive housewife and mother, making her appearance be more attractive and young. But as I said with Sister Nana, that is just a theory. A magical girl racing project theory. If I had to point out something I dislike about her design, well, not specifically, but more of a problem with some of her official renders, why does she have a whip? She doesn't even use it in any of the novels nor the anime as far as I'm aware. I suppose it's to make her cowboy motif more clear, but it's already clear as it is. Though, this is just a nitpick. It's not something that ruins the design for me at all. Magicaloid 44, I'll call her only Magicaloid from now on, has a really unique design, as well as it fits her magical ability to a T. I don't know many robot magical girls besides Ruru Amour from Precure and Honey from Cutie Honey, though I didn't watch that show yet. But they usually look more human than robot, though my two examples are android, and it makes sense that they are humanoid and what I mentioned is not necessarily a problem, but we're getting out of track here. Magicaloid is one of the very few robot magical girls that do look robotic. She also looks really adorable. Her bulky arms and legs are so cute, and even if they make her silhouette kind of blobby, it's still pretty. Her bright pink eyes make her face pop and also complements the pink details on her design. Magicaloid is described as someone who always takes the easy way out, and I think her robot motif fits that, which is crazy because she actually didn't even make her avatar. The reason why I think it fits, it's mostly because we're currently living in a time that every single fucking person uses AI to do fucking anything, and well, yes, I think that being a robot fits someone who can't bother putting the effort to do anything. Whatever, going on. I don't know why she has little black crowns on her limbs. They add nothing, and I don't know what relation it has with Magicaloid's character nor the person who actually made the avatar. Overall, her design is amazing and very unique. Hardgore Alice's design is just so amazing. It fits her character, it makes sense in the story, and it looks really good. Despite being basically entirely black, many details from her design managed to stand out by themselves. Her all-black design and very pale skin, alongside her dark circles and, in the anime, purplish eyes, help to highlight her face and lack of expressions, making her look dead. Her all-black attire also reminds me of what someone would wear on a funeral. In fact, that fits her motive and power. Her father killed her mother and she feels like a burden to others, making her want to end her life. She's alive only because of Snow White, wanting to live to repay her kindness, thus becoming a magical girl with the ability to basically being immortal. Now about her dress. I love it, and it fits the Alice in Wonderland but dark motif to a T, while also feeling unique to her. I'm specifically a big fan of the stockings, like they're so pretty. I would love to have them in real life, even though I dress like Adam Sandler and not an epic and awesome gothic Lolita girl. Anyways, back on track, it's cute that she's always carrying that white rabbit plushie, as a reference to the original Alice in Wonderland. It also has a little flower to represent Snow White. Adorable. On the topic of Snow White, Hardgore Alice designed her avatar to be a counterpart to Snow White and complement her, and it greatly succeeds in doing so. I love her design and her character in general. She's great. Ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between, we have our second and last Lay the House Down Boots Houston I'm Deceased of the video. Cranberry has one of my favorite designs of this arc. She looks so beautiful and elegant. Her design went through significant changes from the original light novel to the anime, mostly to make her easier to animate. The most notable changes are the big roses and vines, her legs and her dress. I would like to start with her legs because I think going crazy kinda. In the light novel her legs are bare, but honestly I didn't even fucking notice. Cranberry is so pale and sometimes I can't tell the difference between her white dress and her really pale legs, though in some official art I can tell she has her bare legs. This is why I prefer the green pantyhose from the anime. They help separate her legs from the dress, but I do have one pet peeve with her anime design. They changed the rose vines on her legs for a pattern, which isn't bad at all, but my problem is that the pattern only goes from the thighs to the knees and it makes her lower legs look empty. The big roses are a change I totally understand. They will get too much in the way and be hard to animate. The change in her dress is okay too. The only difference is that in the original novel she's proudly showing her pussy to the world. Now back on track, her blue rose crown, though in the anime is both red and blue. Blue roses can symbolize mystery and the pursuit of perfection, which is fitting not only since the reason for Cranberry's death games is because she wants to meet a magical girl who's strong and follows what she thinks a perfect magical girl should be, but also for the mystery part. At this point of the story, Cranberry is still a pretty mysterious character. Changing the subject, the ball on her chest is a weird detail to me. In the light novel it looks fine and it fits with her color palette, but in the anime it kind of sticks out, not in a good way. I think it's because her light novel design uses a more warm green for her jacket, but in the anime the jacket is more of a gold green. Does that make sense? Well, in general, despite my nitpicks, Cranberry has a great and iconic design, which I think is well deserved for the villain of the story. Oh my god, finally. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment your opinions on the designs down below. I really want to see your thoughts. I'm planning on doing a video on the restart designs in the future, so if you're interested in watching it when it comes out, consider subscribing to my channel. Also, follow my social media, I post all my art there, and also my commissions are open, yay! So if you want to give me your money, consider buying one. I'm sorry if the audio sounds shitty here. I think I said that English is not my first language and I still struggle with pronunciation. And also, I get really nervous when recording and I stutter a lot. Anyways, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm Sol, aka Sol the Celestine, and I see you the next time. Bye!